Good morning, Year 4. It's Monday, the 22nd of February. I hope you're all up and rearing and ready to go for today's literacy lesson. Now, to start off our new unit in literacy, we're going to be having a look at a range of texts and the features they have. And we're going to be focusing today on what is the difference between fiction and non-fiction. I wonder what you're reading at home at the moment. I wonder if that is fiction or non-fiction. So let's have a little look together then. So what are the actual differences? So fiction. Right. First job, I'd like you to get a piece of paper and a pencil, and I'd like you to write down the features of a text which would make it fiction. So pause the video, off you go. Okay, welcome back. I wonder what's on your list. Let's share what I've got on my list and see if we've got anything that is similar. So hopefully you've told me that fiction, it tells a story. You've told me probably it's got characters in there. Now that can be any number of characters from one to hundreds. Sometimes you can have illustrations in a fiction story, which makes it a little bit more interesting for the reader to have a look at. As they get trickier books, they will quite often be wrote in chapters, and they're usually written in chronological order. I wonder off my list if you've included those as well. So, and have a little think also about actually, can you think of any examples of a fiction novel that you may have at home? I wonder if you've got a favourite. I think we've all got our favourite stories. Okay, so it tells a story, doesn't it? This is what makes us excited about finding out about what's going to happen next. This is what actually sometimes keeps me up at night, because I'll be reading and I won't want to put a really good book down. So, oh, one more chapter, oh, one more chapter. Okay, so it's really good fun. So can you think of any stories that you've recently read, or is there a book actually that you would like to recommend to somebody else, to a friend? It's a really good thing to do, is to recommend a book, because it's a good place to start. Okay, so they have characters in them. So what characters are in your book that you're reading maybe at the moment? Can you think of any famous characters that you know? Maybe they're evil or scary. Maybe they're really brave or powerful. Maybe they're ugly, but maybe on the inside beautiful, or the opposite way around. Are they giant or are they magical? What's the features of your character that you're reading at the moment? And just have a moment to have a little think about, actually, do you like the characters like that? Are you drawn towards a book with a particular type of character, or do you just like a full variety? Okay, illustrations is a really nice way to enjoy a book. Quite often the illustrations are there. Why do you think books have illustrations? I wonder. I think it helps, doesn't it? Sometimes if we're new to reading, or when we were younger, or actually I still enjoy a really nice illustrated book. It allows your imagination, doesn't it, to interpret the words, and the illustrations can encourage that sort of idea of what those characters would look like. They draw us in. It looks attractive. We want to enjoy those actual pictures. They're quite often written in chapters. So each chapter will tell a part of the story, and chapters sometimes end on cliffhangers to keep the reader interested and build attention. I know I am very bad when it comes to reading a book with a cliffhanger. I never can pause. I always want to read more. And chapters, they often can have a common theme. It can be like a time, or it could be the setting, or it could be about the different characters involved. So it's a bit like when we are doing our story plan, isn't it? That actually we think about the different sections that are going to come in our story. Well, if you're an author and you're writing a chapter, you're just doing very similar, but you're adding that extra bit of information and more detail. Okay, so non-fiction. Get your piece of paper again and your pencil. Could you write down now all of the features of a non-fiction text? Off you go, pause the video. Okay, I wonder what is on your list. I wonder if yours matches mine. So they tell the reader information. If I want to find out something, whether it's going to be about a country, whether it's going to be about a recipe, whether it's going to be information about animal care, I'll be looking in a non-fiction book because I want to find out information. Now, there is a contents page. There is a glossary. How many of you included an index? Well done. Diagrams, remember the diagrams should always have a label, and there should be wrote to be really interesting facts. You might have put a fact box or a did you know box as well, because we've looked at those in class as well before. Okay, so an atlas is an example of a non-fiction book. Could you think of any others? Absolutely fabulous. Well done. So see what else you can think of. Right, so the contents page. So the contents page is there, so it lists all the information in the book and we can find it quickly. If I'm wanting to find out just about Egypt in a book, I might not want to be reading all about Greece or Cyprus. And I could just quickly go to find that particular section about the particular country. It might be that I've got a new book about animals, and maybe I want to find out just about birds. Well, I won't want to read about the cats and the dogs and the rabbits if I just want to find out something about a bird. So again, it's really good actually on a contents page that I will get to focus down my time to that particular area. So I don't have to read the whole book. I can just dip into the different sections that I need to find the information I'm wanting. Okay, so the glossary. Now, glossary is really important when it comes to a non-fiction book, because quite often there's those new technical words which are really related just to that particular topic. And that makes sure that I'm going to understand those technical words. And again, it's done in alphabetical order. So I've got a chance to find those particular words, the new vocabulary really easily. Index. Index again is another way that I can use to find information really easily, but I can look up a keyword in the index and then it will tell me what page I need to turn to read around there. So again, it's another way of finding information from a non-fiction book without having to read it from front page to the end. I can just dive in and out as I need to do. Okay, diagrams and labels is another feature we have mentioned. Now, the diagrams and labels, they're included to help the reader understand the information. The labels and the arrows, they're often used to help the reader locate the information quickly as well. So it was very much when we were even doing our explanation texts, we were encouraged to include a diagram. So actually on our planning stage, weren't we? So that we were able to really understand how it was going to work and take place. And I know I quite like, if I'm learning something new, to see a picture of how it is going to be working. I'm sure you do too. So your challenge today, okay? So we're thinking about whether it's fiction or non-fiction, and I want you to play this game with me, please. So can you match these features to the correct genre? So I want you to shout out and I want you to join in. I want you to tell me fiction or non-fiction if it has an index. Absolutely fabulous. Well done. It is non-fiction. An index page helps the reader locate information quickly, and the reader will look for a keyword in the index and it will tell them which page that the word will be found on. An index is in alphabetical order. Well done. Right, are you ready for the next one? Okay, has a glossary. Is that going to be fiction or non-fiction? Shout it out. Well done, guys. Okay, it is non-fiction again. A non-fiction book includes lots of technical vocabulary linked to the topic. The glossary explains what the technical words mean. A glossary is an alphabetical order. Ready for the next? Written in chapters. What do you think? Well done. It is fiction. So each chapter tells a part of the story, and the chapters sometimes end on a cliffhanger to keep the reader interested and to build tension. Chapters often have a common theme, such as a time, setting, or the characters involved. Right, what about this one then? It's written in a chronological order. Absolutely fabulous. Well done, guys. It is fiction, usually written in chronological order. I'm using the word usually because they can vary as you become wider readers. You will find that sometimes that's not always the case, but actually usually they are. Okay, what about this one? Gives the reader information. Well done. It is non-fiction as well. It tells the reader information, doesn't it? Has an index. Well done, guys. You've got it right again. It is non-fiction. An index page helps the reader locate information quickly, and the reader will look for a keyword in the index, and it will tell them which pages and what words will be found on. An index is in alphabetical order. May have illustrations. Which one do you think that one was going to be? Fiction or non-fiction? Well done, fiction. Fiction books often include illustrations. Tells a story. Well done. That was a really quick answer. Absolutely fabulous. It was fiction again. Can you think of any stories you've recently read that are fiction, I wonder? Okay, what about this one then? Has diagrams and labels. Absolutely fabulous. It's non-fiction. Diagrams and labels are included to help the reader understand this information. Labels and arrows are often used to help the reader locate the information quickly. You've got it. Well done, guys. Okay, your challenge today is I am wanting you to decide actually how you're going to represent this for yourselves today. I'm wanting you to design either a poster, or you can represent it as a Venn diagram. And I'm wanting you to be able to share with somebody else that you know the different features of fiction and non-fiction. Now, under your remote learning, I have saved you a Venn diagram. And that's the one, remember, that's got the two circles, and you will get to sort out different features, whether it's fiction, non-fiction, or both. You can use that, but you don't have to. You might decide you would like to create a poster where you are thinking about what are the different features of fiction or non-fiction, a bit like you might see in a library. So if we was going to put one of them in the school library to help our younger children understand the different features, what could you do to make it really attractive? And I would love for you to send those in today to your class teachers. We'll be really excited to see about your different features and of non-fiction and fiction, and how you have decided to represent that information. Also, could you let us know what you're reading? Because that's something I know with my class, and I know the other teachers are really, really keen on, is that you are still reading at home. I wonder if you could let us know what book you're reading and whether it is fiction or non-fiction. That would be absolutely fabulous as well, so we can find and share maybe some good examples of some books we might like to actually give a recommendation for, to signpost people to. So I'm excited today to see how you're going to choose to represent your work. Have fun with it. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.